Game 2 of the CBS Sports HBCU Showcase. It's a battle of the real HU, Howard and Hampton. Starting lineups for each team. Munir Hima into the starting lineup for Howard, making his 6th career start, the Syracuse transfer. For Hampton, it's the same starting lineup as they had in their last game, a team that likes to switch it up. For Howard, Kenny Blakeney leads the way, 6th season, last 2, has led Howard to the NCAA tournament. While Ivan Thomas, his 1st year leading the way for Hampton. Alongside Clark Kellogg, Tiffany Blackman on the sidelines, I'm Chris Lewis. So the CBS Sports Classic HBCU Showcase highlights one of the most intense rivalries that there is, the battle of the real HU.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. You can tell Coach Thomas for the Hampton Pirates, he came dressed ready to go.
That style. Something else.
All white blazer, black slacks and black tie, and the ball is up, and here we go.
With Howard controlling the first possession. Come in 5-7. They've won 2 of their last 3 after a 4-game losing streak. And the freshman Blake Harper has been a revelation. There's Hima in the lane, wide right on the shot that lands out of bounds on the baseline.
You know, we talked to Kenny Blakeney earlier today, and he said shot quality was going to be key for his team, handling the pressure of the Hampton Pirates defense. That was a quality shot they got there, playing through Blake Harper, one of the outstanding neon newbies in the country, folks.
Harper had a triple-double earlier on this season, a 30, 13, and 10, 13 boards, 10 assists, the only Division I 30-point triple-double this season.
So he's got great feel and touch, uses his body extremely well, and plays with the poise of a much more seasoned player.
Anwar Gill deflects it out of bounds. Remains with Hampton, a 7-5 record, including 4 wins in a row. A whistle before the pull-up jumper. And a clock issue.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Chris. The clock stayed parked as the ball came into play.
And a matchup here in Hampton, Virginia. These teams played a classic last season in February, a game that Hampton won with a late 3-pointer. Here's Farrakhan, leading scorer, 13.5 points per game. Fadeaway Jay short. Marcus Dockery chases down the rebound for the Bison.
And you see Harper will handle it and then try to back down his defender, looking to score or find teammates more likely.
A guard throughout his youth, a late growth spurts. He's listed as 6'7", but still listed as a guard. Harper here, turns down to 3. Step through move for the freshman. Tip back shot goes up and through.
Just stayed with it that time. Showed you really good footwork and then persistently chasing down his own miss. Well, I tell you, we talked to him and Marcus Dockery earlier today, and they were hyped and ready to tip this thing off about 4 hours ago.
Very excited, ready to represent Howard in this game. Harper, 7 times this season the MEAC Rookie of the Week.
Yeah, he's dominating that particular award, and he's just got a lot of game in his package. Zone defense here.
Strother tries to shoot him out of it. And Harper, who's the team's leading rebounder, in fact, the MEAC's leading rebounder, gobbles that one up.
Yeah, and, you know, the zone defense, in part because Hampton struggles to shoot the perimeter shot. They're only 30% from the 3-point line, and Kenny Blakeney thinking the zone defense, being a little short-handed, might be an effective defensive strategy for him.
Out of bounds will belong to Howard. So these are 2 schools that are founded a year apart. Howard University, Hampton University, although you go back to 1984 is when it was renamed Howard University from Hampton Institute. So Howard likes to throw that into the picture. Sure. The battle of the real HU. Exactly. You weren't HU going all the way back.
Right, exactly. What you would expect in a rivalry.
Yes.
Anytime you can find an upper hand or tilt things in your favor, that's what you like to do.
Strong as a shooter. In fact, Howard throughout their lineup, tons of excellent shooters as a team shooting 40% from deep. Shot clock at 2. Hima in the lane, off the side rim right.
Well, 2 quality shots from Hima. He hasn't played much, But again, Howard missing 4 potential rotation players, actually the preseason player of the year, and Bryce Harris, who's got a foot injury, and we're not sure whether he'll be able to make it back this season or not.
Campbell Nkoji also having injuries. What a pass. Beautiful. A dynamic dive from Gill. And Hema delivers his first 2.
Zone defense again, quality shots so far for Howard, and the game plan being executed just the way they wanted to. Defensive rebounding, the other thing that Coach Blakeney pointed out to us.
Meanwhile, Coach Thomas for Hampton highlights his team's scrappiness. A bunch of new players have gelled, especially defensively. Strong fade away from the elbow.
Well, again, if Howard continues to get quality shots, that will allow them to get back and set the defense. And then if they defensive rebound, they're scratching off 2 of the primary bullet points in their game plan. Take care of the ball, quality shots. Those 2 are together. That's 1. And then defensive rebound is the other.
Well, Hampton has started the game 0 for 6 from the floor. Ball's in the hand of the freshman quite a bit. Harper gets rid of it to the corner, but a whistle and the heel out of bounds from the sharpshooter. Howard has started this game strong defensively in the battle of the real HU. 95th meeting all time in hoops between Howard and Hampton. Even some shorts today. Temperature is 66 degrees here in Hampton, Virginia. We're courtside Convocation Center. That's Clark Kellogg. I'm Chris Lewis. Tiffany Blackman will join shortly. So far in this game, it's been a strong start, especially defensively for Howard as we go into our AT&T fast analysis.
Yeah, not only defensively, Chris, but also they've executed offensively, which is one of the things Ken Blakeney said his team had to do. And we show you here how they do it. They play through the freshman Blake Harper, who's a terrific passer and scorer. And once he draws 2 defenders, that ball starts to hop and it gets to the opposite side, and then Marcus Dockery able to knock down the triple. But so far the game plan has been executed in this first 4-minute segment quite well by Howard. Get quality shots, the zone defense has been effective, and then defensive rebound as they force 6 misses from the Pirates so far.
Let's see how Coach Ivan Thomas's team responds. Strother's a 3, pops out, and Howard all over the glass. Rebounding their opponents by 2 per game. The LaSalle transfer, Anwar Gill, misses a scoop.
Another quality shot, and that time Hampton got a good look from Struthers, the reigning player of the year, the rookie of the week in the CAA. Nice looking freshman. He's got a good stroke.
I thought you were going to say nice looking suits. You saw him on the Hampton sideline.
Well, Thomas wanted his team to get off this bagel on the scoreboard.
Longtime assistant for Ed Cooley at Providence, and then last year at Georgetown. Norfolk native, coaching Hampton. Bristol Jr. too strong on a 3. Whistle on the rebound, and the ball will stay here. Loose ball foul on Howard. So bragging rights, of course, at stake in a matchup that dates back 95th meeting between these teams. Good games last year. Teams split it. Hampton won the last one. The football rivalry goes back to 1908. Second foul on Gill for Howard on the last action, so he checks out. Fadeaway jumper from the baseline. George Beal Jr. in off the heavily used Hampton bench. Interior denial. Munir Hema getting to start in this game.
He's made his presence felt. He's got a bucket, and he's actually gotten 2 good looks at other opportunities, but his size is a factor.
Marcus Dockery leading the MEAC in threes made. Takes one off the dribble. And a rebound picked up by the big body off the bench. Kyrie Smolin, junior from Norfolk. Spinning shot in the lane. Strothers amongst the trees. It ricochets out of bounds. Everything in the lane. Difficult.
Yeah, challenged. Good job by Hema there. Good penetration by Strothers, just not able to quite get enough on it.
Lima heads to the bench. Syracuse transfer. Doing an excellent job making the start in this game. Miles Stewart, who's started more frequently for Howard, comes in. Collision in the lane, and that's a blocking foul.
Boy, that was a close one. I thought Stewart almost got there. Let's take a look. That's Bristol on the drive. Boy, that could have easily gone the other way. I thought he got there. Oh, no, he slid in just a tad late. And then the gauge has the offensive player left the ground, that last plant foot. If he's left, you can't slide in and take the charge. So good call that time.
And Bristol connects. And that's one of the emphasis this year, and making sure that you're in that established area well before the takeoff point of the ball handler.
That's exactly right. And I think it eliminates question marks for the officials. They're kind of watching that offensive player's launch pad, and if he launches and that defender is still moving, that's a block.
Took over 5.5 minutes for Hampton to get on the board. Harper defended by Beal. Double comes with the help. A little too aggressive on the bump by the baseline, and Beal is caught for his first foul.
You know, both of these teams average Howard 78 points a game and Hampton 76. Both off to relatively slow starts.
Expected both of these teams to take advantage and get up and down when they have the opportunities. Shot clock at just 8. Against a set Hampton defense. Backdoor cut. Well done. And there's the foul as Blake Harper will head to the line.
Well, the execution by the Bison has been excellent. They've handled the ball strongly. They've made their cuts, and they've gotten themselves quality shots in that time. Blake Harper, who's taken 67 free throws on the season, gets to the line for the first time here today.
And shoots him at an 81% clip. Dan Bannister on the last foul, his first. And we're talking to Blake Harper earlier on today, kind of told the story of his journey from being a 6'1", not much of a prospect early in high school, to his growth spurts, including late in high school, where he sprouted to 6'8", what he's listed on the roster. But he still has those guard skills that he had throughout youth.
Yeah, he's got tremendous feel, handles the ball well, really good vision as a passer. This zone defense continuing to create some problems for the Hampton Pirates. Again, they're not a prolific three-point shooting team. The Pirates only shoot 33% from the three-point line, make about 7 a game, so that's not the strength. This team wants to get shots on the glass, beat you up on the offensive boards, and then use the defense to create some turnovers, and that just hasn't been the case so far in this ball game.
You mentioned the offensive rebounding for Hampton, 14.5 per game. This is how they thrive defensively.
Yep.
Deflections. Dockery picks up the dribble. This is Cameron Shockley-Okeke. Offensive board on the Howard side. Harper, physical. And he will head back to the line.
Boy, he's on top of his game in terms of how he's passed it, attacking the rim when he gets a chance. That time a second shot opportunity. Off the nice penetration by Howard.
And Tyler Rice gets called for the foul. See it right there. One of the most productive freshmen in the country, Blake Harper.
In a year where there are a lot of outstanding neon newbies.
He's more than just a doctor. He's a detective. Morris Chestnut stars in the new CBS original series, Watson. His mystery begins CBS Sunday, January 26th, after the AFC Championship. See, I remember Morris Chestnut in Like Mike. Little Bow Wow's teammate. That's what I remember him as. Harper in and out on the second. You can see Hampton still looking for their first field goal here this afternoon. Beal can't handle it. Harper in the open floor. Beautiful behind the back, and a gorgeous spin.
Big time.
Beautiful move for Blake Harper.
Big time play right there in transition. You got to have rush hour handles to do that, folks. And he did. Tight quarters. He got that ball right where he needed to get it on the rim.
The DC traffic as well, rush hour.
Yes, indeed.
Ball out of bounds. Remains here. One more look.
Off the turnover, here he comes in transition. Defenders backpedaling behind the back, then the spin move under control, and then the nice finish. Well, he showed you a lot in his book bag right there on that particular play, folks. Where are the Pirates going to find offense? I think Farrakhan has to look aggressively to attack the gaps against this zone and then kick and be ready to shoot. Bill is capable as well. Probably the best three-point shooter. Right on cue, George. You heard me, young fella.
Third in the Coastal in bench scoring for a Hampton team that has the third most bench points in the nation at over 40 per game. Beal, a big part of that bench. Ivan Thomas utilizes. There's the bench numbers. Again, over 40 points, easily outscoring the starters. And one of the things that is an indication of what the bench means to Hampton is that Kyrie's Mullen, who is preseason all-conference, more than willing to come off the bench in a majority of these games so far.
Yeah, and in talking to Ivan Thomas, he talked about one of the things he's been most pleased with his ball club is everybody buying in to their respective roles, the kind of culture they want to play with and practice with, intensity, everybody engaged and involved, and really building the program on defense and rebounding. Excellent defense there, and a rebound and a chance to run.
Bench reflects culture, is what Thomas mentioned. Beal off the bench misses the three. Dockery on the run. Cross-court dime. Miles Stewart. He's picked up by Farrakhan, the leading scorer on the Hampton side. Ball deflected out of bounds. So a timeout on the floor. The CBS Sports family suffered an immense loss yesterday when it was announced that broadcasting icon Greg Gumbel had passed away. Clark, I know he was a dear friend of yours.
No doubt about it. My heart is heavy, as are the hearts of many. His accolades, accomplishments, and versatility in an over 50-year broadcasting career that was pioneering and platinum level are really iconic, remarkable, and significant. Yet what bettered and blessed me, Chris, so much as his partner and friend over the last 25 years was his combination of being a gentleman and a gentleman. A gentleman in caring, goodness, humility, kindness, laughter, and love. A gentleman in class, competence, excellence, grace, quiet strength, and taste. He was very much loved by all those who knew him. He'll be missed dearly by me and so many others, and remembered always. Ever grateful for the impact my friend and partner had on me and so many others.
Our Tiffany Blackman caught up with Kenny Blakeney.
Coach Blakeney, the decision-making of this team, what do you like about the shot selection so far?
The shot selection's been okay. I'm really happy the way that we're playing defense, and we've done a good job of limiting them to one shot on the offensive glass. So if we continue to defend, I think our shot making ability will get better as we get more rhythm into the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Now, Clark, he mentioned the ability to defend. You take a look at what Hampton has done so far. Just 1 for 13 shooting. Howard's defending.
Yeah, they are defending at a high level. Some of those are missed shots, obviously, but the defense has been right on point. The zone defense has been active. The guys have been tied together defensively for the Bison. And as a result, Hampton has been unable to get anything inside. And then the defensive rebounding is a big component. Because you mentioned it, 15 offensive rebounds a game is what Hampton averages. And Howard doing a really good job of forcing the miss and then limiting the Pirates to one shot.
And what Coach Blakeney has done with Howard last 3 seasons, including the last 2, leading them to the MEAC Tournament Championship, NCAA tournament appearances. It's been incredible. Or a program that hasn't had that kind of success. That doesn't hit the rim. Dockery on the step back. So that's a shot clock violation.
Good defensive stand that time. There you see what Kenny Blakeney has done the last couple of seasons.
Consecutive NCAA tournament appearances for the first time in school history. That note at the bottom, first 2 seasons, 5 and 33, and then over 506.
Yeah, you talk to Kenny Blakeney and you can feel his conviction and belief in what Howard can become as a basketball program. And you're seeing evidence of it. Back-to-back MEAC tournament championships. And he feels like this is just the beginning of what's going to be a very successful basketball program. And I think Ivan Thomas is building a culture and foundation in a similar fashion. They've struggled offensively today, but defense is where the Pirates hang their hat.
The Pirates have come in winners of 4 straight, off to their best start to a season in 5 years. They get the stop. Beal gets the 3. So that's exactly what Hampton ordered, and suddenly we're tied.
And the thing that scoring the ball allows you to do is put some full court pressure on Howard now. The buckets have been so few and far between, really for both teams, but for Hampton it's really important because it kind of sets the defense that they like to play when they score the basketball.
Dockery gets the feed. Stewart set it up. Excellent ball movement from Coach Blakeney's team. Howard just 1-4 this season on the road. Hampton's 4-1 at home. Attack. Farrakhan knocks it down.
That's the soft spot of the zone, Chris, when you can get that ball from the wing into the middle of the floor with a shot maker and playmaker there. You've got options, and Farrakhan took full advantage of the little mid-range jumper.
Getting the ball to the guard at that area. Farrakhan stands at 6'1". Dockery tries to hit Stewart on the roll. It ricochets out of bounds. Live CBS January 5th. Don't miss Hollywood's biggest party. Nikki Glazer hosts the Golden Globes live CBS Sunday, January 5th, and streaming on Paramount+. Howard got off to the great start. Hampton suddenly has recovered over these last couple of minutes to tie it at 10.
A couple of good defensive stops and well-executed offensive segments as well.
Daniel Johnson's a sharpshooter. 44% from 3. First lead of the afternoon for Hampton.
Boy, look at Strathers put heat on that basketball. Again, when you score it, you can put pressure on the ball in the backcourt. Now Howard is going to have to respond by maintaining its poise, continuing to work that ball side to side, and then attacking when they have opportunity to.
Harper in a crowd, he's unfazed, and it's just so difficult to defend because if he has a smaller body on him, he'll do just that.
Boy, just a catch and shoot here for Johnson. That ball from the wing and right to him. He's right on time and on target in the shooting pocket, and he let it fly. A pretty quick turnaround by the Pirates, right? It looked like they couldn't find any offense. Then they get a couple of stops in a row and a consecutive bucket, and off they go.
Hampton started 0 for 11 from the floor. They're 4 of 5 since. George Beal just picked up his second foul. So Wayne Bristol Jr. from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, a Georgetown transfer in. Bristol began his career, though, at Howard. Was the MEAC Rookie of the Year. 13 points per game that season.
Yeah, he had an outstanding rookie season back in 2019. He's looking at the basket here.
Bristol can't get it. Rebound chase to the corner, scooped up. Farrakhan rifles to Johnson. Two premier historically black colleges and universities squaring off. CBS Sports Classic HBCU Showcase. It's Hampton suddenly in front. The battle of the real HU. One of the most heated rivalries this season have come from the bench, and that's Ivan Thomas's bench, Hampton's head coach, and moments ago chatted with Tiffany Blackman.
Coach Thomas, your defense has facilitated some offense. How do you guys keep it going now?
We got to just keep applying pressure. I don't think we applied the pressure that we wanted to at the beginning of the game. And then our shots are going to fall. We're letting our offense dictate how hard we're playing on defense, and we're not built that way. We're built on defense first, so we got to get after them a little bit more defensively.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Clark, I want to know how many minutes Ivan Thomas has played so far.
He's worked up quite the lather. It is a little warm outside. I'm sure that's part of it, but he's an intense guy, and he's got a team that plays with that kind of grit. He's from this area and takes great pride in being from the 757 and has his team now finding a little more of a defensive rhythm and an offensive flow as a result. And that's how they've gotten back on the lead. Consecutive stops and then good ball movement and shot making against the zone.
Strother's an air ball. Let's check in with Tiffany.
Yeah, Clark just mentioned how Coach Thomas takes pride in being from the 757. He said in this area, you have to exhibit not only physical toughness, but mental toughness as well. So he really prides himself on that. Says he wears it like a badge of honor, guys.
Yep.
Norfolk native, high school coach in the area to move up to now his first head coaching experience at the college level here with Hampton. Just a fantastic journey. A longtime assistant for Ed Cooley,
who's got that Georgetown program moving in the right direction too so far this season as we approach conference play.
And that scrappiness, a staple of Coach Thomas. Surface layup, no from Strother as a loose ball foul. On the rebound as Daniel Johnson came flying in. But that's signature Hampton.
Boy, his defense on the ball has been terrific here in the last few minutes. Strother's doing a nice job. I think he made that shot harder than it needed to be, Chris. I mean, he gets the pilfer here. Just go in with that left hand and keep that defender on your right shoulder, and I think he would have had an easy layup. But you love the effort and the intensity that he brings to both ends of the floor.
Strother's one of those 757 guys that Tiffany mentioned from Newport News. That's a steal from Howard. Blake Harper. Ball fake. And we'll go back to the free throw line again.
Well, again, I mentioned it earlier, Chris, 67 free throw attempts in 12 games. So he's getting there 6 times a game almost, shooting 80%. And he attacks and really never seems to get sped up, which is pretty impressive for a first-year guy who has the usage rate that he does. They put the ball in his hands an awful lot because of his poise and decision-making.
Free throws 7 and 8 upcoming. Johnson, the last foul. Now, one of the favorite foods we learned, Blake Harper, that garlic bread.
Oh, man. So he was 5'7", he said, in middle school, and then ended up being 6'5"-ish. By the time he got here, grew to be 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" in high school, and then had another little growth spurt and said he's grown a little bit here. But he said he was a chubby kid and that he ate just about everything. But the only thing he enumerated was the garlic bread, which was amazing to me. Of all the things he was eating to put on the extra LBs, the thing that stuck out the most was the garlic bread.
Must have been easy access. It also must have been delicious.
It had to be both. It had to be both of those.
Farrakhan, Hampton's leading scorer. Quiet so far. He averages 13 per game.
He's been single digits the last 3. Good job by Dockery there.
Clock at just 1. Has to fire. And that's Strong. Joshua Strong shooting 56% from 3 for Howard team that is shooting the lights out this season.
Well, he's been marked pretty well by the Pirates defense. It would benefit Howard if they could find a way to get him a clean look, because he's lethal back there behind the arc. This defense is pretty stingy.
Harper spin off 1 foot. There's Bristol with the board.
Nothing really easy for Howard here the last several minutes, Chris. The defense has picked up.
Corner long ball, Daniel Johnson. Second time he rings the bell from distance.
How about that, what he's been able to provide off the bench for the Pirates. Yes, you talk to Ivan Thomas, and he doesn't really have a designated starting lineup. He's got 10, 11 guys that play double-digit minutes.
12 players played in the first half of the most recent game against Loyola Maryland. A win for Hampton by 8. Open floor, Bristol. Gets it back in the corner. Takes the rainbow.
Boy, good offense, just wasn't able to cash in.
You mentioned it. Nothing at this end. Another Hampton steal. Kennedy with the left hand.
Good timeout here by Kenny Blakeney. Starting to get away from his offense just a little bit.
Elijah Kennedy coasts, and Hampton has the lead. Bring in the new year. Nashville's Big Bash live. Join host Keith Urban for Nashville's Big Bash live, CBS New Year's Eve, and streaming on Paramount+. Hampton getting a boost from the bench. Daniel Johnson
knocking down that corner pocket three, but it's been the defense. Here's a turnover. That's Farrakhan, the push ahead. Now you've got numbers. Kennedy able to get it all the way to the rack. But again, pilfers for points is a big part of what the Pirates want to do. And so far here in the last few minutes, they've been able to do that. Howard has to find a way to get a quality shot for Strong. There's Gill trying to make it happen on his own, but the defense is just set and had all eyes on him. Got to get that ball moving side to side and then maybe attack a closeout on the ball reversal, but a straight line drive against a team as solid as the Pirates are defensively typically is not going to work.
Howard trying to end a 5-minute field goal drought. Everything tough inside. That ball gets on the backboard, but a whistle.
I think we've got an and one here, Chris.
Count it. Wow. Cameron Shockley OKK underneath.
Boy, he just stayed with this and muscled that thing up and down. But again, it wasn't easy, but it was much needed. You talked about the drought that Howard had endured and suffered through. It's a big bucket as we head to the last 4.5 minutes of this half.
That's off the body of Johnson. So after the missed free throw, Howard keeps possession and a chance to get 4, maybe 5 on this trip. Shockley OKK delivers. So there, right there, a 5-point possession for the Bison.
All OKK. He got a hoop, missed the free throw, and then got a wide open three. Howard makes 9 threes a game. Oh, good look.
Bristol on the receiving end. That's just the second made field goal for the Hampton starters in this game. The bench is 6 for 8.
I'm sure Ivan Thomas is okay with wherever the points come from.
Gill has a lane. Big guard. He's 6'4", well-built, from D.C., transfer from LaSalle.
Now, Howard trying to show a little full court pressure here.
Farrakhan scoops it in.
Well, I think Josh Strong was looking for some help defensively, and it never came. But you got to defend the ball a touch better than that. He basically kind of escorted Farrakhan right to the hole there.
3-point Hampton lead late in the first half. A reach from Johnson, knocked it away from Harper. Grad student, Newark, New Jersey, Noah Farrakhan leads the team in scoring and assists. Richard Goods play makes to the corner. There's the three. Elijah Kennedy. The bench mob continues for Hampton.
Boy, are they bringing it. But it started at the defensive end. When that energy picked up, they became more effective at the defensive end. Then the shots followed.
Shockley OKK whips a pass to Gill. Huge hop step. Harper with 6 to shoot, mid-range. And Kennedy secures the rebound. Farrakhan navigates around the screen. Cut off from Gill.
Gill's got the 2 fouls. You got to be careful.
Kennedy, lefty release. Strong gobbles up the board.
Well, the fact that Hampton plays 10, 11 guys double-digit minutes really wears down the opposing team. Howard not quite as deep due to the injuries with the roster. And I think both teams are looking for a little oxygen right now. Chris,
some huffing and puffing as they're racing it up and down the floor. This arena's warm as well. Noah Farrakhan.
And then Kennedy, nice penetration and pitch. Mark it up. Pirates on top.
Showcase, Hampton leads. It's now time for the Care Changes Everything, presented by Dove Men Plus Care. Howard and Hampton football teams have been squaring off for over 100 years. Their first meeting, 1908, and they've met an even 100 times. Now, when Hampton joined Howard in the MEAC 1995, that's when the rivalry heated up, especially on the hardwood, where they met twice a year. Now, despite the two schools now in different conferences, the rivalry has led the schools to make it a point for this game to be played every year. Howard and Hampton, the battle of the real HU.
I love that intentionality around making sure that these two teams square off, even though they've gone separate ways as far as conferences go. And both coaches really embrace it and appreciate it and want to win.
Yes. More than anything.
Yeah.
Now Hampton in the Coastal preseason pick at the bottom of the conference, but I don't think they were anticipated. Ivan Thomas and what he was able to do, changing over the roster and having this squad playing at a level they haven't really played in the last 5 years, since 2019. A 4-game winning streak. That's 2019 was the last time they'd won 4 in a row. Tie up, Arrow keeps it here. Howard still in the MEAC. Preseason favorites after winning the MEAC tournament the last 2 seasons.
Well, Bryce Harris, his foot injury, going to be a big part of what Howard becomes going forward. He was the preseason pick as player of the year, and there's Kyrie's Mullen just bully balling in there.
They didn't take no for an answer. Kyrie's Mullen from Norfolk, Virginia, junior, will get a couple of free throws. Jaron Johnson, first foul. Only returning starter for Coach Thomas. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Brendan Baylor, Zach Aldridge, and Southern University's own Avery Johnson. They'll shine a light on the other HBCUs in action and share their insights on our first half.
The little general in the house.
That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Spend any time around Avery Johnson, he lets you know.
You're going to hear about Southern. You just count on it. I love the pride that he represents his alma mater with. He's had a successful journey on the court and off.
Legendary player, fantastic coach,
and a great hang.
No doubt. Largest lead of the game for Hampton. Have a chance to increase it.
Pretty good look that time for Blake Harper. But sometimes when the defense really picks up, you just are a touch off in your rhythm. And that's kind of what's happened with Howard, as we've got a foul away from the ball. I think some guys got tangled up inside.
That's how these teams like it. Blake Harper is the guilty party. Good crowd as well. This game just means something different.
Yep. He shuffled the feet that time, Chris. Kyrie's Mullen guilty of the walk. It's easy to pick this one up. Shuffle, shuffle.
Right on top of it. Mentioned this is a long-time football rivalry. We have a football score, 28-21. That comes to an end as Blake Harper in traffic.
And actually, I don't know if they were looking for the 2-for-1 there, but they certainly are in position to have it now, the Bison.
Well, Hampton goes quickly as well.
Well, maybe they did.
They'll have another possession on the backside if they can get a stop. And a board. In the short corner for Gill. Double team, scoop reverse, deflected out. And Hampton could have the final possession of this first half.
Well, I like the aggressiveness, but discretion would have been the better part of valor there as you take a look at the nice little pick and roll action between Dockery and Harper. Well executed. But now it looks as though the Pirates should have the last shot here.
Harper has a game-high 12 for Howard. Johnson with 8 to lead the way for Hampton off the bench. Farrakhan from Mullen. Takes the three at the horn. There it is. As soon as that one went through, he yelled out, boom!
Well, he knew it was on line when it left his hands. And the largest lead for the Pirates comes at the buzzer heading to halftime. For Hampton, rather.
Let's check in with Tim.
Coach, that's quite the way to end the half. What does that do for you momentum-wise as you go into the break?
It should give us some confidence. I mean, we're taking good shots. We're going to make them. I just need my guys to be a little bit more patient in this zone. They're zoning us. We want to touch the paint first, go inside out, and I think that's a good example of it. Ball goes inside, goes out, and we make good shots. Just got to be patient in this zone. We'll make shots.
You told me earlier you wanted to see more pressure from this defense, and they responded. What do you like about the way they did?
I like the way we're pressuring the ball full court. We want to apply the pressure so that they wear down towards the end and don't take good shots themselves. They're a good three-point shooting team, so we want to, pressure them baseline to baseline so that they got to feel those legs when the game gets tight. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
Coach Thomas's team finished strong in that first half. Largest lead, 31-23. We'll send you back to the guys in our New York studio for AT&T at the half right after these messages.
Co-host Zach Aldridge, and of course, Mr. Pick and Roll. You know him as Avery Johnson here. Game 2 of our HBCU showcase with the score in Virginia. Let's just say the Pirates leading 31-23, a big one here for Hampton.
Yeah, we came into this one knowing that Hampton was a very good bench, one of the best bench scoring units in the entire country, and Avery, that's exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, when you're talking about Hampton, it's their quality depth. They can score a bunch of different ways. They struggled with this zone early in the game, but then they got hot from 3. Daniel Johnson was perfect from the field, got the ball in the middle of the zone, and then George Beal Jr. from the corner, the easiest 3 in basketball. But on the other side, Blake Harper, he's screaming one word, help, help. He has 12 points at the half, but his teammate Marcus Dockery, who averages 16 points, he's 1 for 5 and only 2 points. But this kid is dynamic in transition. You know, the lefty, I love lefties.
Of course.
So he's doing a great job, but the freshmen need help from the senior.
By the way, scoring 16 points this season when it comes to the freshman there. It needs a little bit more help, as you mentioned. All right, let's get to some of those more highlights there. A top 22 matchup between the two, UCLA and Gonzaga.
Yeah, we've seen Ryan Nembhard do a lot of work in his collegiate career, and how about the feed it down low to Graham EK?
Between Hampton and Howard, and let's just say they are getting busy after that first act, and the second act right around the corner. Hampton leading this one 31-23, of course, our second game of our HBCU showcase there. Earlier today, it was all about
Ball coverage is sponsored by Progressive. Bundle home and auto and save. Jersey Mike subs. Be a sub above. And by the U.S. Army. Be all you can be. The Hampton alums, the alumni list for both of these schools, long and distinguished. We'll go through Howard's a little bit later. Clark Kellogg, Chris Lewis here. Now, the CBS Sports Classic HBCU Showcase, it's been fun. This building's been energetic. Yeah. The alums, the fans from both of these teams are here. This has been a live atmosphere.
Oh, always. When you talk about historically black colleges and universities, when they gather for any event, particularly sports, they're going to be there and they're going to be loud. And so this has been enjoyable for Hampton, particularly the last 9 minutes of that first half, because the defense picked up and the shot making, because of what the bench production was able to put them on top in this ball game.
Let's take a look at the numbers in that first half. Lincoln first half stats. So Hampton bench point strong, also 3-point field goals. Howard just 1 made 3 so far in this game.
Well, we talked about the bench scoring. Daniel Johnson was the catalyst, but George Beal Jr. was in the act as well. Knocked down a couple of threes. Daniel Johnson did the same on perfect shooting. Kennedy was in the mix as well. Excellent work by the Pirates.
Let's check in with Tiffany.
Hey guys, for Howard, I spoke with Coach Blakeney. He was so calm in his demeanor, and he said his message to his guys during the break was, we're fine. We've got to utilize each other. He said some guys are trying to do it on their own, which is admirable, but they have got to be better together, guys. That was the message.
All right, we'll see how they can work together better here in this second half. Remember, Howard got off to the great start, especially defensively. But after this game was tied at 8, Hampton exploded. They had their largest lead of the game at 8 to begin the second half.
And you mentioned that early start defensively for Howard. I didn't think the offense was at the same level, and as a result, they couldn't get the separation they should have gotten based on the defensive play.
Joshua Strong sidesteps into a 3. And Long gets the long rebound.
Not the quality of shots you want, fighting the shot clock and a fadeaway 3. It's the right guy shooting it, but you want a better shot for him.
Last year, Hampton, Clark, was 9-24. They have a chance to pick up their 8th win of the season already in this game.
I tell you, I've watched a few of the games prior to doing this one, and the defense, the depth, the quality of depth, you heard the guys in the studio talk about that, and here's the resurgence that's beginning. A lot of new guys, but a culture that is built to last and to win.
That last note, the last 4 games in the win column, longest winning streak since 2019. Trying to send that to 5. Farrakhan bobbles, recovers. Off balance, off glass. Wow. Edge against Strothers. And then a travel in the backcourt against Howard. Wow, it's all going Hampton's way.
Well, that's the 7th made 3-point field goal for Hampton, and that's what they average for a game in makes. Howard, on the other hand, has only made 1, and they average 9 makes a game. But credit the Pirates' defense. Forced a turnover on the inbounds there.
Another 3. Wow.
Well, Ivan Thomas said it. If we stay committed to our defensive principles and get good shots, they will eventually fall. And it's been an avalanche of 3s so far for the Pirates.
First made 3 of the game for Wayne Bristol Jr., who began his career at Howard and was the MEAC Rookie of the Year. This swarming defense, a staple of Hampton this season. And a timeout called to save possession for Howard. Wayne Bristol Jr. from Howard to Georgetown and now in Hampton.
Yep, coming off a 21-point season-high game, knocking down the 8th 3-point field goal for the Pirates.
I could have sworn it was open.
Rookie move.
I was a rookie once.
Caitlin Clark.
Aren't you Rookie of the Year?
That was last year. Ancient history. The stories that I could tell you. Here, pull up a chair.
Okay, I meant this rookie driver made that rookie move.
Whoa.
Dude.
You need someone with more experience. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, State Farm's here to help, no matter how long you've been in the game.
Game? Oh, man.
Rookie move. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's Ma calling, and Papa, I'm leaving a message.
Hi, baby girl. Just want to say I love you.
Have yourself a good time. Granny love you and she miss you.
Just remember to take a deep breath, honey.
Happy New Year. I love you more than you'll ever know.
I would love to keep in touch a little more.
Hey, Grandma.
Happy holidays from AT&T.
She's just my little auntie.
I know. You just got that stare, you know, that look like she can see straight through you. Is the temperature, is it okay?
It's the final days of the Lincoln Wishlist sales event. Competitive Conquest owners and lessees get 0% APR and up to $4,000 cash back on top of all current offers on the 2024 Lincoln Navigator.
Tough Men gives you healthier, smoother feeling skin to celebrate life's intense moments. Use Tough Men Body Wash with its 24-hour nourishing micro-moisture. Enjoy healthier, smoother feeling skin all day with Tough Men Body Wash.
Refresh your senses with a wave of tropical lime flavor. Mountain Dew Baja Blast. In stores now.
Watch the Golden Globes to see how a famous British actor pronounces the name Zendaya. I'm already laughing.
The Golden Globes, live Sunday, January 5th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Hampton, the first 6 of the second half. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS, with the Bills looking to wrap up that number 2 seed in the AFC. They'll take on the Jets. Now that's a CBS Sports Sunday. All begins noon Eastern. JB and the guys, NFL Today, here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. It's the NFL HBCU takeover. A couple of new coaches. Michael Vick, Deshaun Jackson, former Eagles teammates, now taking over some HBCU programs.
How about that? How about that? 2 outstanding former NFL gridiron guys stepping into the coaching ranks.
Yes. Yeah, Eddie George, of course, Deion Sanders, Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick. But still to say, there are some great coaches that are, whether SWAC or MEAC lifers, who are in the ranks coaching college football there too. So it's not just those NFL guys who come in. There's guys who have spent years and decades in those conferences.
For sure. That's exactly right.
Right. Certainly put the work in and maybe don't get the recognition that they deserve. 3-point shooting in this game coming in. We expected Howard to be the team to rely on the 3. Well, so far in this game, it has been Hampton that's had the rhythm from deep. Bristol, a distance shot. That one rattles home. It's a distance deuce for Wayne Bristol Jr.
Boy, they have been impressive since about midway through the first half of the Pirates. I mean, defensively, they turned it up, and then the offense just kind of picked up and has not let up.
And Clark, you go back to the last 3 points of the first half. Kyrese Mullen, that buzzer-beating 3 for Hampton. And then they begin this half with back-to-back 3s and then that distance shot. So that spark started right before the horn at the end of the first half. Blake Harper finally gets Howard on the board in the second.
Well, the Pirates doing a good job defending the 3-point line, making it tough for Dockery and Strong to get looks. That time they got a second chance, and Harper was able to finish.
Xavier Long wants 3. Rink tips the rebound, but it's out to Howard on the run. 2-on-1 pass from Dockery, just a beat behind Harper.
I think it got deflected by a Pirates defender, Chris.
So those active hands continue to be a story. Strother's 2 steps before putting the ball on the deck. That's a travel. Allen Iverson, yes. Hampton, Virginia native in the building. Of course, stylish. I'm a, South Jersey guy outside of Philly. Grew up watching Allen Iverson. Know all about how he was such a really great quarterback.
Yes, he was a dynamic football player. Dynamic football player, and obviously one of the best to ever do it. When you consider his size, clearly one of the most unique players to ever play in the NBA.
He said his mom had to drag him to basketball practice when he first started. He went kicking and screaming, didn't want to play, thought it was soft.
And then he had people trying to guard him, kicking and screaming once he took to the basketball.
No pressure. Oh, denied at the summits. Xavier Long, the long arm.
Well, good attack here by Dockery. He's going to have to get it going if the Bison are going to make their way back into it. But a better defensive play by Long, who's as steady as they come. Defends, rebounds, protects the paint.
And he got a piece of that rebound, too.
Yes, he did.
Great to see Allen Iverson supporting this, again, really important showdown, the battle of the real HU. Howard and Hampton, the CBS Sports Classic, historically black college and university showcase. Xavier Long underneath the baskets.
Second shot opportunity for the Pirates. There was one of the concerns Kenny Blakeney had coming into the game. And now where do you find offense against this tough half-court defense of the Pirates? It's got to be doing it together, ball movement, spacing. Got a foul that time. But boy, the Pirates, because they've got such quality depth, nobody plays more than 30 minutes a game, and they're always fresh and can keep that pressure on you. There's Long off a nice pass from Farrakhan. Mark it up.
Marines are made for this. Made for the calling only warriors can answer. Made from an unshakable belief in our nation and a strength that comes from the determination to win together.
What the real HU is. Hampton University, Howard is a real HU. Howard is a real HU, regardless of anything that they say.
When you think of HU, think Hampton.
Real HU is what's on my chest right now. Howard University, baby. HU is the real HU.
There's not that much need to explain.
So you take an HBCU rivalry, and then you add a title and a name to it. Takes it to just a different level. Battle of the real HU. Come on, you gotta win.
Yeah, it's intense, and it means a lot to a lot of folks here in this area and in the D.C. area. Right now, Bison Nation needs a surge, and this might be the guy that can get it started.
And it's a rivalry that certainly means a lot to these players, Tiffany.
It certainly does. Intense is one way to describe it. Howard guard Marcus Dockery told us his mom is a Howard alum, and she gave him a simple message before the game: you better win. We all know what that means, guys.
Gotta get it done. Can't let mama down. Wayne Bristol Jr. call for his second on Hampton.
Been a tough day so far for Dockery, but he's at the foul line now after an aggressive take to the hole. Maybe this can get him going if he can knock down these free throws.
Lefty release, in and out. Howard just 4 points over the last 8 minutes and 50 seconds of game time.
That's the first miss from the foul line for Dockery this season.
Yeah, came in 12 for 12. Said he models his game after D'Angelo Russell. In fact, his number in club ball was the number 0. The lefty from Ohio State.
Yeah, the smooth operating lefty who's doing his work at the NBA level with the Lakers now.
George Beal Jr. wants to back down against a player who likes to back down himself in Harper. Clock at just 3. Strothers launches and connects.
Wow, this young fella's a nice-looking two-way player, only a freshman.
That is the 9th made 3 for Hampton to just 1 made 3 for Howard. Howard makes 9 threes per game to lead the MEAC.
That's why we play the games, Chris. You never know. Oh, beautiful work there. Good pass from Gill to Johnson. Oh, nice hustle by Strong. And the turnover.
Poked it loose. Howard without numbers. Hampton, a good job of getting back.
Excellent job to get back, and they've done that pretty much since about the halfway point of the first half.
A foul on the baseline before the kick. It's a foul against Howard. Offensive foul.
Called an illegal screen, I think. Strothers knocking down that 3. Good straightaway look. Yeah, there was the movement. OKK. That was an easy call for the officials. Just cross body blocked him. That would have been fine in football.
The 100 meetings in the past between Howard and Hampton football, that would have been fine. Another foul on the floor. Celebrity comedy game of X's and O's is back. The all-new Hollywood Squares with Drew Barrymore and Nate Burleson begins Thursday, January 9th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. It took a while for Hampton to get going offensively. First 5 minutes without a field goal. But since the lid has been taken off, this game has been dominated by the Pirates.
Yep.
Beal Jr. for a double-digit threes. Oh, yeah. The 10th made 3 for Hampton.
Game partner. Excellent defense from the Pirates, and then outstanding three-point shooting one of the best days of the season from behind the arc for the Pirates.
And it comes after their season worst three-point shooting game against Loyola Maryland, where they were just 3 for 15 from deep.
It often happens that way. If you continue to stay persistent, get quality shots, you typically revert back to your percentages. I mean, they're only a 33% shooting three-point team, but the strokes they have and the way they've displayed it today, they're better than that. I think some of the poor percentage has been quality of threes, but they're getting good looks as a result of sharing the ball and getting contributions from a lot of different guys.
Quality and quantity.
Yeah.
They've launched 23 of them.
Yeah, that's not the norm either. But again, that's what the game has allowed them to get.
Americon, that extra hop in the step. I think Allen Iverson says that was clean. He did that a number of times in the league.
So do some of the fans. I probably would have allowed that. Well, I might have allowed that to go. Looks like he jump stopped and then left. It looked more like a walk than perhaps it actually was.
The 95th Battle of the Real HU. Steal for Hampton, already up 17. Beal. Americon chases as Beal hit the ground hard.
I thought Beal had an opportunity to make this a simple 2-on-1 and elected to take it himself and ended up with a tough try.
Body went flying towards the rim more than the hand of the ball did. Thackeray, the last foul for Howard. His first. Joshua Strong back in, as well as Kyrese Mullen, who hit that three-pointer right before halftime. You can see right there, it has been a reversal of fortune in this game for Hampton from the three-point line. And a well-executed baseline out of bounds. It's all working for Coach Thomas. Harper needs this and gets it. 34% from deep three on the season.
Can the Bison generate a couple of consecutive stops? Good pressure here.
And you feel like it does have to start with the defense and the pressure.
No question.
Beal coast to the rim.
But when you're extending the defense, and if the other team is strong with the ball and gets it moving, then you're sometimes playing behind. Playing behind the ball, I mean.
And they're playing behind on the scoreboard right now. Down 18. George Beal Jr. All the right moves. Beautiful English. Hampton leads. Basketball coverage is sponsored by Buick. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by McDonald's. Howard alum Kamala Harris, the vice president, meeting with the Howard squad. She's extremely familiar with this matchup, the rivalry. Just a few years ago, before the football game between Howard and Hampton, she delivered the game ball in D.C. So she's all about representing Howard and Coach Kenny Blakeney every opportunity she has.
And I understand that football that she presented to the basketball was a real HU ball.
Oh, there you go. The real HU. Well, right now they need any boost that they can get in the battle for the real HU. There you go. There you see it.
There you go.
Perfect
right
vision of it. Yes, the rivalry has no limits. The alumni list for both of these schools, incredible, distinguished, lengthy.
All of the above.
Competitive.
Excellent.
Yes. See what Howard can do to get back in this Their superstar freshman, Blake Harper, gets rid of it. Clock down to 10. Strong hasn't really had any looks from three, and that ball was tipped.
It has been saran wrap tight for Strong and Dockery at the three-point line. You know that was the game plan coming into this one. Guard that three-point arc. And the Pirates have done it superbly, particularly as it relates to Dockery and Strong. They just haven't had very many quality looks.
Clock at 3, off balance, Jaren Johnson. He'll be rewarded with free throws. Daniel Johnson called. Foul number 2.
Well, when you're trailing by this much, the three-point shot has not been available. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the paint and the rim and draw fouls. You've got to attack that pressure with aggressive, strong drives to the hoop.
Speaking of aggressive, strong drives to the hoop, very few did it, as well as Allen Iverson, Hampton, Virginia's own.
For his size, I don't know if I can think of anybody that did it with the abandon and fear and fearlessness that he did it with. I mean, I covered him when he was in college and then watched him in the NBA as well. And boy, he was a
NBA scoring champion. Another balanced performance for Hampton against the press. It's hit by the corner, no whistle. Say that ball was deflected and did not hit the sideline. Leads to a Johnson 3, long. And a whistle on the rebound. Cameron Shockley OKK for Howard. That is his second personal. I don't know how you would start when it came to defending Allen Iverson. Like, his first step just blinding. You can get to that mid-range game.
He had a lot.
Some years where was deployed as a point guard too, and was near the top of the NBA in assists.
Boy, good active defense and active hands that time.
Got it away from Mullen, but a steal in response. Farrakhan ahead of the back. Johnson is fouled. Gill got just enough of the wrist to alter the dunk.
But how about the persistence of the Pirates? There's Noah Farrakhan getting back into that play after Howard had forced a turnover and had what looked like a 3-on-2 break. But no give up in the Pirates and no give up in the Bison there either, as Gill comes back into the play, commits the foul, but doesn't allow a dunk. So Johnson, who had the big first half, was perfect on 3 shots. And the foul worked out.
Daniel Johnson, freshman from Chicago, one of 16 new
time, and you basically start with your pillars, how you want to play, and then hopefully you have a couple of guys within the program that are new, that embrace what it is you're attempting to get done, and then you build on that. It's not impossible. It does create some challenges because there are different agendas at times when you bring in that many new players. To be able to get them pulling in the same direction is what you're trying to do. And I tell you what, this Hampton Pirates team is showing the fruit of the labor. And Ivan Thomas told us that he thought one of the biggest things for how they played to this point is Harper knocks down the 3 is that he's had tremendous buy-in from all of these new players at the defensive end and playing together offensively.
Tiff is more.
Yeah, Clark mentioning the pillars you need to have. Well, Coach Thomas had a guy like Kyrie Mullen with him, and so with Kyrie being there as that big 3 was just hit, Kyrie basically was able to help the other guys buy in, and he wanted to stay and be a part of the new culture that Coach Thomas was building, guys.
Yes, the only returning starter and somebody who's from Norfolk, Virginia, so a very good piece to have to help direct the culture that you want.
Yeah, and Ivan Thomas also mentioned Daniel Bannister as another key component. The only two returning guys that have been instrumental in bringing along the newcomers.
Farrakhan hit the three, a possession to go. Johnson tries for the three this possession. Mullen tips the rebound. That returning starter, who now comes in off the bench for Hampton, gets fouled. What does that say as well? You're the only returning starter, and you are willing to take the role to come in off the bench. Bench equals culture. That's what Ivan Thomas told us this week.
Exactly. And it says to me that you're committed to doing whatever you need to do to win games and to move forward as a program.
Preseason, all Coastal gets the roll. Xavier Long coming back in, DC product. Spent 3 years at Canisius. Beal climbs the ladder, saves it from going out of bounds. Beal flicks it in and
Great
flexes.
Effort. Man, what an effort.
Largest lead of the game, 20 points for Hampton. And Warkill, 9.5 points per game. Playing with 3 fouls, gets the lefty layup to fall. Battle of the real HU has gone to Hampton. 8 minutes to go here in this second half. Really from the opening couple of minutes, it's been all Pirates. Bowen, another long ball. Bullseye! Tyrese Mullen had the 3 right before halftime. That long ball makes it 21. Foul underneath. Tyrese Mullen.
Great work here by George Bill Jr. Off a missed free throw, able to house that rebound up and down. And then Tyrese Mullen letting folks know I've got a little range.
Mike Subs game summary. Hampton controlling most of the categories, but Clark, you highlighted it, 3-point field goals.
One away from a season high in makes are the Pirates, and you felt like that was going to be the strength of the Bison coming in because they make 9 a game at 40%, but the defense has been suffocating and the offense has been explosive from behind the 3-point line for the Pirates, and everybody has been splashing them from deep. Struthers banked one in. Mullen has made 2 of them. Daniel Johnson got the party started in the first half, him and George Bill Jr. And so the defense has been stifling. They've gotten points off turnovers. Everybody's contributed, and the 3-point shooting has been a bonus that's led to the very comfortable margin for the Pirates.
We've brought it up a couple of times that Hampton this season has not been known as a strong 3-point shooting team. So as a defense, you play them to that scout, but if the team starts hitting, at what point does reality have to hit and you go, wait a minute, what we had on the scouting report isn't true in this game?
Well, I think it's all about execution for the Pirates at both ends. When you're trying to, actually the shots they've been getting here, particularly in the second half, have been off quality offense. I don't necessarily think it's been because Hampton has wanted to give them threes. I think it's more they've been able to take them with ball movement and spacing, and then the defensive pressure, I think, has taken a toll. There you see Anwar Gill. Nice work that time. 1-on-1 D. And comes up with the bucket off the steal. You can see these Bison, they will not give up. But the hole is pretty significant with only 7 minutes to go.
Howard needs more of that. Quick stop leading to a quick score.
Well, again, with a shorthanded roster, Bryce Harris has the foot injury. Osei Okoji, who's one of the rotational players, a concussion protocol. Dom Campbell, another rotation player who would have helped today in concussion protocol. and you face a team that has the quality of depth that Ivan Thomas's squad has, it's an uphill battle, particularly if you're not handling the pressure of the defense. And that really kind of gradually went south for Howard after a pretty good start the first 6-7 minutes of the game.
You wear a clean jacket like that for Ivan Thomas. On the other side, that's Kenny Blakely. But yeah, they wear a jacket like that. You get the logo on it, like the stripe as well. Like, you know it's a big game. You know it's a rivalry matchup. You know there's bragging rights at stake. You go deep into the closet and grab the best you can.
Oh no, he's styling and profiling there for sure. And his team has matched his outfit here for the last 25 minutes or so.
Have you seen many drastic differences in the wardrobe of the coaches as we had in this? You have the hoodie on one side. It's a stylish hoodie, I must say, for Kenny Blakely. But you have a hoodie and then that clean white blazer.
It's all about comfort and what you like, and the versatility and variety is much more prevalent in this day and age than it has been in the past, and I like it. I mean, there are some coaches that still want to be booted and suited with coat and tie, and other guys want to be a little more comfortable in fashionable sweatsuits and hoodies, and we see Ivan Thomas taking it to a whole nother level today.
Well, Ivan Thomas now has a sweatsuit, if you know what I mean. The suit is rather sweaty.
For sure. For sure.
And that goes for the folks in attendance. A matchup like this, a rivalry, you got to dress in your best. And by the way, comfortable day to do it. Temperatures in the mid-60s.
Yeah, really balmy.
We've talked a lot about the alums on each side. One alum we did not mention is on the Howard side, our very own A.J. Ross, reporter
indeed.
for CBS.
Yep, shout out to A.J. Not a great day for her alma mater here on the hardwood. But all credit to the Pirates.
Jaron Johnson in the backcourt. It's called for the foul. We have a feeling that Kenny Blakely's team will be heard of in the MEAC once conference play begins in earnest. A team that has won back-to-back MEAC conference tournament championships.
And you know, sometimes the journey of growth is not a straight line. We talked to Kenny, and he mentioned he was pleased with how his team was growing, considering the adversity that they've had to face. I mean, again, Bryce Harris is picked as the preseason player of the year and a real force in how this team was expecting to be and constructed. And you don't have him, and then you lose a couple of other key rotational guys, and yet this team continues to make progress. And so you hit a speed bump here. There you see Bryce Harris had a chance to say hello to the young fella prior to the game. He's hoping to recover, but time will tell if that's the case or not. But you look at those numbers, and not just the numbers, but his presence, his physicality, his experience. Talked to Tyler Thornton, the assistant coach for the Bison. He mentioned how good Harris has been as a leader, even though he's not able to participate, but how he's been engaged with his teammates and seeking to lead them and encourage them. So this is a step back. This is a minor step back, a painful one when it's the rivalry game. But conference play is looming, and there'll be another opportunity to regroup and even grow from this disappointing, what appears to be a loss. I mean, 6:22, still maybe enough time to mount a comeback.
19 down with 6:22 left. We'll be back in 30 seconds from Hampton. DJ Envy in the building, another Hampton alum. Playing the jams during the timeouts, even sometimes during live action, but nobody minds.
That was part of the vibe here.
It's been all Hampton since the first few minutes. Two premier HBCUs here on CBS. Ball on the floor. Both teams scrap for it. Even with a 19-point deficit for Howard, Arrow keeps it with Hampton.
Well, no quit. And the Bison, they're still getting after it. Just haven't been efficient enough or effective in what they've wanted to do here today. But no, not lacking in effort at all. Really impressed with that young man too, with Blake Harper. I mean, he's got a lot of game for a first-year player.
Well, he's one of 2 freshmen in the country.
Yeah,
averaging 16.6 rebounds and 3 assists per game. The other, Cooper Flagg from Duke, who many expect to be the top pick in the NBA draft. Cross-court dime to the corner, and that's emblematic of how this ball game is gone. Wayne Bristol Jr. 13 made threes for Hampton. Howard has attempted 13 threes in this game. Who would have ever thought? Harper, acrobatic, count the hoop and the harm.
Another quality look from behind the three-point line. Credit Noah Farrakhan. Penetration along that baseline, and then an on-time, on-target pass to Bristol. And then at the other end, Blake Harper able to show the ball and get his defender up in the air and get to the rack. And there you see, you just mentioned those numbers there that he's posted so far this year. Very consistent. It's been steady. I like his competitive spirit and motor even in this game. Hasn't had the help he typically gets from Marcus Dockery or Joshua Strong, but has continued to compete and produce.
Another productive player from Gonzaga High School here in D.C. Schrothers in and out, but Mullins there. Whether it's the outside game where Hampton's had a season high 13 made threes, or the interior from the offensive glass, which has been their recipe all year long, they've had it working. Johnson shorts, and there's Mullins. Strother attacks. Whistle first, and an offensive foul.
Exactly, Chris. We'll get a good look at it, I think, right here. There you see Long just coming in and body blocking Blake Harper. And I think you could get away with that on the gridiron as long as it's not a block on the back. But in hoops, that's a no-no.
In the secondary, that kind of contact may be within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. Going to go forward beyond that. Illegal pick. Under 5 to go in Hampton. And what a win this would be for Coach Thomas. You can win 4 in a row, and yeah, that's fantastic. But that 5th game being against Howard, that's a little bit different.
That is a bit different. They'll start conference play after this one. They'll see College of Charleston, who has one of the best players in the country, and Ante Brzovic. And then they get to see Elon as well next week, next couple games.
I mean, this is the last game of 2024 for Hampton. So this will be their first time over 500 at the turn of the new year since the 2010-2011 season.
How about that?
Yeah, it has been a while.
Heading in the right direction. Very impressed with Ivan Thomas, too, as we talked to him yesterday. He's got a clear idea of what he wants to build and how he wants to build it. Talked about EAT, not E-A-T. E-E-E-T.
Okay.
Energy, effort, enthusiasm, and toughness. Got that from Ed Cooley, and that's the foundation. Those are the foundational pillars, and he had a great quote that I really liked. He talked about the promise of victory goes through defense and rebound.
Mm-hmm.
The promise, the hope of victory goes through defense and rebound.
I mean, it goes to his motto, we hit first.
Yeah.
That's why he gets those tough 7-5-7 kids.
And they started a little slow, but they picked up. And when you've got the kind of depth that he has, the quality depth, if you're not getting it from the guys that are on the floor, you've always got the reinforcements that can come in and make it happen. And that's what happened here today. And very impressively done by the Pirates.
The strength in the numbers. So many quality options. They've built the depth.
Good look there by Harper.
Way short from Gill. Johnson board. Bristol knocks it away. Ball on the deck. Gobbled up. Strothers. Smith poked by Gill. Playground style here in Hampton. Gill slotted, but a second chance shot from Harper. Boy, what an athletic play from Strothers to even get to that ball.
He can really bounce. I mean, he got up a couple of times in that first half. Once for a potential offensive rebound and another time for a potential dunk. And I didn't know he had the trampoline like that in those shoes. But he's an impressive looking young player.
Farrakhan hasn't had to do too much offensively. Sets up Mullen there.
That's a great point you make about Farrakhan. He's the leading scorer, but he's been very much under control. Has not really forced anything as far as looking for his own shot. He's created some offense for his teammates. He's had a really solid floor game.
Harper, boy, is he tough. Lost a bunch of weight in the preseason. Said didn't pick up a basketball for a couple of months. His preseason, when he stepped on campus, was just running up and down the court without a ball in the hand.
All about conditioning to shed some LBs. And to his credit, he recognized in order to be the kind of player he wants to be, that was a mandatory step for him to take, that he was going to have to drop some weight so that he could have the conditioning level needed to play the way he's played. And that's pretty impressive for a young guy.
Arrow gives the ball to Howard. It's the battle of the real HU, and it's all Hampton at home. Last analysis is presented by AT&T. It's all Hampton.
It has been, and the bench production has been superb. George Field Jr., Daniel Johnson, Kyrese Mullen. They've all taken their turns from behind the arc. Very impressive last 30 minutes of this ball game for the Hampton Pirates. And Kenny Blakeney knows his team just wasn't up to par in terms of what they needed to do to handle this Hampton defense. I don't think he expected the avalanche of threes. And finally, Dockery gets one to go. And quick timeout.
It's down to 13, 2:22 left. Yeah. Still a ball game here in Hampton. 30 seconds will return to Hampton, Virginia. You talk Hampton basketball, you have to mention 2001, the NCAA tournament, first round in Boise against Iowa State. 15-2 upset. 6.9 to go. Jarvis Williams, that 4-footer to give Hampton the lead. Last look, Jamal Tinsley, no for Iowa State. And yes, that iconic image, Steve Murfeld. And Hampton, the 15-2 upset in Boise, one of the legendary NCAA tournament moments.
Clearly, most memorable. Those 15-over-2s don't happen that often. And that was one of the early ones.
I have to say, the day after Greg Gumbel's passing, just watching you and Greg in the studio now, getting your way through all those crazy highlights.
Oh yeah, there was a time when we would bounce around from game to game and take viewers to different games because, prior to joining up with Turner, we basically had games of interest in different areas. And a lot of great memories of those long, fun, adrenaline-filled, unpredictable days. And Greg often would keep me in laughter with one of his many jokes during our downtime. But what a classy pro and man.
Physical foul, Harper. This is an intense rivalry, but it is in respect.
Boy, Harper may have gotten shaken up there. I hope he's okay. He's slow to shake it off here. Pump fake. And no malice intended there. An airborne defender grabbed hold of Harper there. And it appears that both are okay. Certainly hope that's the case.
And the officials will take a look to see if there was anything worth upgrading. in that last exchange.
The previous play is under review. The previous play is under review.
As you said, Clark didn't see any malice there.
No, but that's not often what draws the flagrant foul. If it's deemed excessive, I mean, you can't judge intent, and therefore that's not part of making the calls. Is this excessive and unnecessary? Seemed to me borderline, because he initially was trying to go by, and then as he got down to the floor, it looked like he was trying to break his fall, and then he grabbed his arm. I don't know if that was inadvertent or not.
Is it the fact that he did touch the ball, though, on the way by? Is that play on the ball? Like right here, he did get the ball?
Yeah, you know, that's, to me, it looks like inadvertent, unfortunate contact.
The foul has been upgraded to a flagrant 1.
So there it is.
And I understand why. Again, airborne, defender, vulnerable offensive player, and then the arm grab taking Blake Harper down, in the eyes of the officials, deemed unnecessary and excessive.
That is significant here with 2:01 left, 15-point game, but 2 free throws and possession. If you're going to have any kind of comeback,
that's right.
That's where it needs to start.
Great call, Chris. Daniel Bannister there. You applaud the effort, but in this situation, a comfortable double-digit lead, you're probably better off just letting that go.
One of a handful of lefties in this matchup on both sides. Blake Harper had that 30-point game earlier on this season against Virginia Lynchburg. One of 2 freshmen with 30-point games this year. Dylan Harper, Rutgers the other. I guess that just must be the name, Harper.
That young man having a great first year at Rutgers.
15 free throws in this game for Blake Harper.
Well, he's done yeoman's work, just hasn't had the help that he typically gets from Marcus Dockery, Joshua Strong, but they're still fighting. And a bucket here.
Hammer thought that ball was kicked.
Well, I think it just went off. I mean, there has to be some activity on the foot of the defender to call it a kick. If it just hits his foot, that's a play on, and that's, I think, what happened there.
Mentioned the 30-point game that Harper had. That was not just a 30-point game, by the way. That was a 30-point triple-double.
That's what we call a 30-piece touchdown.
30, 13, and 10.
Yeah. 30 points and a triple-double. A 30-piece touchdown for sure.
Farrakhan, 80% free throw shooter. And that late growth spurt for Harper. You can see those guard skills with a bigger body.
Yeah. Couple of big free throws there by Noah Farrakhan, who again hasn't scored a bunch, but I tell you, he's been rock solid in ball distribution, defending.
Harper deposits 2. Mentioned it with Farrakhan. It's been quiet, but he sneakily has 15, which is over his season average. Xavier Long with those long strides.
Boy, that's surprising. I wouldn't have guessed 15.
Yeah, sneaky.
Would not have guessed 15.
Also 7 assists.
Well, that I would have been easy to. I would have been able to easily endorse that.
Cameron Shockley KK and a timeout. Down to a 12-point game, 1:15 left here in Hampton. Will return in 30 seconds. This is the type of win that, if it's not the players, certainly the fans can enjoy for at least 48 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
In a matchup, the battle of the real HU. Unique and intense. Man, B. Howard is the theme on the Hampton side, and other than a slow start to this game, they have executed. Trying to close it out with 1:15 left. Found the backcourt. Will send Bristol Jr. to the line. Ivan Thomas, this is what he has upcoming, starting in the new year. On the road for a couple, as Hampton looks to make a push in coastal play.
Elon's been a bit surprising, as they were picked to be near the bottom of the Coastal Athletic Association, as was Hampton. I think both of those teams very likely will exceed those projections based on what I've seen of Elon and what I've seen of Hampton in a couple of games in preparation for this one and in what we've witnessed today.
9-28 record in coastal play since joining the league in 22-23. Feeling that this is the type of team that can bring them their best season so far in the coastal.
Well, you look at the defensive pressure they can apply, the depth, the quality depth.
Yeah, you had the broom out underneath the basket while Hampton was trying to inbound the ball. So the official blows the whistle to call a timeout. You want your safety is a priority, certainly, but the clock was moving as they were trying to inbound the ball.
That is what we call a failure to communicate.
That's a screen for you, a broom extending away.
Not seen that one before.
Backcourt foul. Now, there wasn't a sweep last year in the two meetings between these teams. They split the meetings. Second one, a close battle in Newark, New Jersey. Hampton won with a three-pointer in the corner, 24 seconds left. Hampton's won 12 of the last 13 coming in against Howard at home. So that looks to continue, 49.1 away. And it has to feel good for that guy. Wayne Bristol Jr. began his college career at Howard, was the MEAC Rookie of the Year, put up 13 points per game that season. Howard seemingly produced his Rookie of the Year after Rookie of the Year. Went to Georgetown, now at Hampton. And a huge part of what looks to be a home win against the rival.
Yeah, he tried to downplay it a little bit yesterday when we talked to him. He said just another game and was kind of low-key in it, but I'm sure, to your point, there's a little added joy and satisfaction coming from performing well and having a convincing win here against Howard. And it was impressive for the Pirates.
Kyrie's Mullen, reserve big for Hampton. He mentioned that this is the kind of game you don't want to lose because you don't want to have to go back to campus and hear from the fellow students after you lost.
Campus is fairly empty right now as the students are not here, but I understand what he's saying.
Yes. Well, doesn't have to worry about it this time. Not because the students aren't there, because his team got the dub. Acrobatic spin, but that one doesn't go. Hampton about to go 5-0 in December. Their first undefeated month. Any month.
Yeah.
Since 2003.
Moving in a very positive direction. And I'm looking forward to watching both of these teams journey through conference play as we head into 2025.
The battle of the real HU goes to Hampton. 83-67. CBS Sports HBCU Showcase. It was North Carolina A&T winning the first against North Carolina Central. And then in the battle of the real HU, Hampton takes out Howard. Hampton's won 5 games in a row. Undefeated in December. And they have won 13 of the last 14 home games against Howard, Tiffany.
Coach Thomas, this rivalry, you talked to us about the emotions, the passion that surrounds this. What does it mean to you to be able to get this win for this program on this national stage?
It means a lot. I'm happy for my guys. They came out and they played with energy, effort, and enthusiasm, and they exhibited some toughness. We're just trying to get better. We're blessed to be on CBS with the CAA, but we just wanted to get better and prepare for the CAA conference, and my guys came out and defended in the second half, and I'm extremely proud of them.
And they came out even shot from three. We didn't know you guys as a three-point shooting team going into this, but around 42%. What got into this team?
Well, we can shoot the ball. We got some guys who can shoot the ball, but we prefer physicality and touching the paint first. And so, but today, if they're going to sag on us and give us open shots, we knock them down. So extremely pleased with my guys. They put in the work and knocking down shots.
Wayne, how special is this for you? I know you started your career at Howard.
It feels real good. I'm just happy we got the dub. My teammates and I, we executed Coach's game plan, and we just came out here and got the win.
Bragging rights now. Are you going to text anybody?
Nah, no ma'am. Just happy you got a team win.
Enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Well done. All business. 83-67 final. Hampton gets the win over Howard. Producer John Morales, director Corey Fishman, for Clark Kellogg, Tiffany Blackman, our entire CBS crew, I'm Chris Lewis, saying so long from Hampton. We'll get you out to New York, Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance. Right after these messages, Hampton victorious in the battle of the real HU.